Hello students, now we are going to continue with our previous lecture, that is reproduction in organism. In our last lecture we have discussed about asexual reproduction. Now we will continue from the sexual reproduction. So what is sexual reproduction is? Sexual reproduction, it is the reproduction that involves the formation of male and female gametes either by same individual or by different individual of opposite sexes. So what is actually, we know that the sex reproduction is, reproduction means that there is a give rise to a new young offspring by the parents. That is, the parent when give birth to the young ones, that process is called a reproduction. But in asexual reproduction, what is most important is if the only parent, the single parent, is responsible to give birth to young ones. But in sexual reproduction, there is a requirement of both the parents, that is the male and the female. Both parents are essential for the give birth to a young ones. How is it possible? The parents, that is the male and the female, produces gametes. These gametes fuse with each other, and this fusion of gamete give rise to a zygote give rise to the formation of zygote, which later develops into embryo and finally give rise to a new offspring. That is, the first stage is occurred is the fusion of gamete, and this fusion of gamete is between the two parents, and both the parents are of different sexes, that is male and female. Okay, when the male and female gamete fuses, this gives rise to a zygote formation. The zygote later develops into embryo, and after embryo development, it give rise to an offspring. Okay, so how it is been possible that the male organism produces gametes and female also produces gametes. Both male and female gametes fuses together to give rise to a zygote formation. This zygote formation develops into an embryo, and that after that this embryo develops and give rise to an offspring. The most important thing regarding with the sexual reproduction is that both the parents or the individual must be of opposite sexes and of same species or organism. That means the male, whether the male or a female, both belongs to the same species. For example, if we consider the cross between a human being, then the human being must be a male human being, that is a male human being, and a female human being. Okay, male human being and a female human being. We cannot cross between the two different organisms. The crosses must be in between the same organism of same species, then it is possible. And another important thing is that whether the organisms are same, but their sexes must be different, that is, one is male and another is female. When the fusion takes place, what does it result? It results to give rise to an offspring which is not identical with the parents. That is, whatever the offspring we obtained from the fusion of the gametes from the male and the female parents, the new offspring which comes out, that new offspring is not 100% similar with any of the parents, as we have seen in the case of asexual. That is, whatever the offspring we obtain, it is 100% similar with the parent. But in sexual reproduction, morphologically and genetically, it is only similar with the 50% with male parent and 50% with female parent. or maybe the percentage changes, that is 60% with male or 40% with female, depend, but the 100% similarity you cannot find. That is that in every stage of reproduction the new individual is always be unidentical with the parents. Okay, now the sexual reproduction is a very elaborate, complex and very slow process. What does it mean? That due to the fusion of the gametes of the male and female, the formation of zygote, the development of zygote into embryo, and then the development of embryo into new offspring, these all stages take lot of time. That is, it takes in a days or a month. And if we consider the case of asexual reproduction, what we found that during the process of binary fission, if the condition is normal, that is a favorable condition, in favorable condition the bacteria reproduce its next generation in within 20 minutes. That is, one bacteria divides into two new daughter cells in 20 minutes. That is very fast. But in the case of sexual reproduction it takes a long time. That means that it is a very slow process. Like in the case of human being, it takes about the development and formation of a new offspring takes about 9 months of gestation period. Okay, so the period of growth to each maturity for sexual reproduction is known as juvenile phase, and similarly in plant it is known as vegetative phase. It means that when a new offspring gets formed, immediately after the birth of a new offspring or takes place of a new young baby, it cannot be quickly responsible to give birth to young one. It takes some time. When the growth is being completed, then the period of a development will be comes to see. That the development period is the development of the sex organs in the organism. That is, in the case of human being, if you found there is a development in the sex organs in male and the female. That is, after the age of 11 year, when the female child of human being attain the age of 11 year, there is a development of sex organs in it due to the formation of the hormones. And after that, till the age of 18 or 17 years, all the organs get been matured, and that female of the human being is ready to reproduce a new offspring. That duration of period is called a juvenile period. Similarly, in the case of the male, that this occurs from the age of the 14 to 18. There is the differences and the changes will be seen in the male of human being, and that period is called a juvenile period. That means the period in which there is a development and the maturity or growth is seen in the organism. In case of an animal, such period is called a juvenile period, while in such growth and development well seen in the case of plant, such period is called a vegetative phases. So in higher plant, the flowering indicates the end of the vegetative phases. That is, when the flower is seen in the plant, this means that the vegetative phase is completed in the plant. Okay, the beginning of the reproductive phase. Okay, in annual or biennial plants show the clear-cut vegetative, reproductive and senescence phases. First of all, we have to know that what is annual plant. The annual plants are those plants which the growth, development and the reproduction of the flower is seen in 1 year. That is, a plant is the growth of the plant is seen, and the development as well as the production of the flower as well as died. That is, a plant's lifespan is only 1 year. After 1 year it will automatically get dead. Such plant is called annual plant. That is, the lifespan of a such plant is only 1 year. In same 1 year, the growth is being seen, the development is also seen, and the production of a flower, and the flower is always produced through the reproductive part. Flower is the reproductive part, and the production of flower. All these things are being seen in a 1 year. Such type of plant is called annual plant. Similarly, biennial plants are those plants which takes 2 years for its growth, development, and the production of the flower. That is, in the first year, there is a growth is being seen, the development is being seen, and after the first year, that's in the second year, you can find there is some flowers will be formed in developed or produced by the plant, such as that, and after 2 years, the plant automatically get died. That is, the lifespan of such plant is maximally over 2 years. Such plant is called biennial. Similarly, perennial plant are those plants which have a lifespan of more than 2 years. That it has been seen for 3 or 4 years or more than that. Such plant is called a perennial. That is, growth and development of these plants are, you can found it very slower. Okay, there are also some other plants which shows a flower in mostly unknown way, that in bamboo species you find that the bamboo plants give rise to a flower once in a life time. That is, due to his birth to death, in his whole life it can only produce a flower once in a life. Similarly, Strobilanthus cutiana, this is a flower plant. This is a plant which give rise to a flower once in every 12 years. That is, after every 12 years, this plant give rise to a flower. These two names are very important for your competitive point of view, because sometimes they ask a question which plant species produces flower in once in its life, and the option may be some, but they also have an option of a bamboo plant. So you have to remember that the bamboo species plant produces flower once on its life. Similarly, Strobilanthus cutania are the plant which produces flower or give rise flower once in every 12 years. That is, in every 12 years you found a flower, and when the flower arises, after that you have to wait for a 12 years for the next production of the flower. This is the example of the Strobilanthus cutiana flower, and this is the example of the bamboo flower. Okay, so the importance is that the period of growth or the phases of the reproductive period in the plant is called a vegetative phases. So in animal, the juvenile phase is followed by morphological and physiological changes. You can see that in animal there is the changes occurs in the morphology and the physiology of the animal, and this give rise to the activities in the reproductive behavior. Like in the case of the human being, you found that there is a in male child of a human being, after the age of 11 or 12, maybe after 13, you found that there is a growth of beard on the faces. Okay, the voice get will be hard or tough, and you found that there under the over the neck near the vocal cord, it is will be tough. There is a thickness you will occur, which makes the voice to be little harder. So, and as well as that, there is the increase of the hairs like a mustache and beard on the faces of the male child. This is the indication that there is the reproductive changes has been seen occurred in the male juvenile, and that period is called a juvenile phases. Similarly, in the case of the female child in human being, there is the start of the growth in the mammary glands, as well as the chances of the occurrence of the menstrual cycles. The menstrual cycle get started. So this gives rise that there is a changement in their behavior of that is the changement gives rise to a reproductive behavior, that the child or of individual is going to be prepared for a reproductive phases. So such duration of the time is called a juvenile phase. Birds living in natural lay is eggs only seasonally. However, birds in capitative, that is a poultry birds, can be made to lay eggs throughout the year. So there are different types of birds which lays their eggs seasonally. Some birds lays eggs in the winter season, or some bird lays eggs in the summer season. But there are some other birds, that is those birds which are being kept in the poultry farming, so like hens, chicks, duck. These birds can give lays eggs throughout the year. There is no seasonal laying of the eggs can be found. In female, is the placental mammals exhibits a cyclic change in their ovaries and accessory ducts and the hormones during the reproductive phases. This means that in the female mammals there is a cyclic change that is called a menstrual cycle, in which the development of the ovaries, accessory ducts, and the hormones, that is female hormones, are start producing, by which, due to which the reproductive phase is being seen. That is a period in which that there is a changement in the changement or in the production of the ovaries, accessory ducts, and hormones are being seen in the female. Such period is called a reproductive phase. So those animals, those mammals, especially those mammals which are non-primates, in which are non-primates, we call that of changement, it's called ostial cycles, while in primates we call it as a menstrual cycle. So first of all we have to know that non which animals are called non-primates and which animal we call a primates. This is a very important differences. The most important and common difference between primate and non-primate, how could we identify with the mammals, animals which are belongs to the category of mammals, that is they give birth to the young ones. Mammals are those animals which give birth to young ones, that is they do not lay egg like birds, or their uh, young ones will not develop in the layer of the shells like birds egg. Okay, that is the development growth of the zygote, development of the zygote into embryo and embryos into offspring is all been inside the mother's womb of, or a female womb of that animal. Such animal give directly birth to young ones. That type of animals are categorized into a mammals. So the mammals are also divided into two categories. One is non-primates and another is primates. Non-primates are those animals whose brains are very small and they are not so much intellectual, and as well as they don't have their hands like cows. Cows have a four legs. They cannot use their the frontal legs for their eating or for writing work. They don't have any intellectuals in them like rats, dog, tiger, and so on. In such type of animals we see the changement, and that changement is called ostrich cycle. While primates are those animals whose brains are larger, have an intellectual type of brain, that is they are intelligent, they have a command of taking decision, they have a chance of understanding, they have a well better knowledge of understanding, as well as they use their hands to perform their work. So such animals which use their hands to perform their works, whose brains are large, who use their intelligence, who understand the things, such animals are categorized as the primates, like monkey, apes, and humans. So the cycle or the reproductive phases which will seen in that type of mammals are called a menstrual cycle. So based on the breeding season, mammals also breed in two ways. That is, one which is a seasonal breeder, that is during when they only breed in their season, or we can say that that season is a comfortable zone for their breeding. Such animals are like goat. We can see that goat can reproduce, cow, cat, dogs. Especially the primates are those, most of the primates are the breeders which produce seasonally. There are also other mammals which continue, that is they continue produce annual anytime, that is there is no specific season. In every month or any month they can ready to produce. Such, like the best example is the human being. You can find that human being can produce in any month, while goat, uh, goat, sheep, etc., have a duration of a time in which they produce, while the rest of the time they are not able to produce. Such is called a seasonal breeder, and those which produce in any month of the year, such is called a continuous breeder. So, senescence or old age. It is the last phase of lifespan or end of the reproductive. What is a senescence? That is a very important to understand what is senescence. Okay, as we have already studied that the life span is been divided into 5 stages. First is birth, second is growth, third is development, fourth is reproduction, and the fifth, which is last, is death. This is the very important 5 stage of lifespan. So when a new offspring comes in this universe, that is the birth take place, then that time we can see that that the birth, when the new offspring comes, the offspring that the birth take place, that offspring is not ready to reproduce, so they require a growth. So they require a growth. When the growth takes place, after growth there is a development, and that development is the reproductive stage, which is called a reproductive stages of the development, in which there is a changes of the hormones and the development of the sex organs will be seen, which is also known as a juvenile period. After juvenile period is over, that organism is ready to reproduce, and by mating with the partner of opposite sexes, they ready to reproduce. But at certain time, after certain time, that is the age time, when this reproductive part is stop functioning, that is at certain point of age, this organism is not able to reproduce a young ones. Such duration of time is give rise to the start of the death phase of that organism. That is the in like in the case of a human being, you can see that when the human being attain the age of male human being attain the age of 48, the menstrual cycle is now going to be stopped, that is which is called a menopause. That is the period that after that the formation of a new egg cells is not been seen in the female, which means that after the age of 50 or 52 the female is not able to reproduce a young ones. Such phase, when the when the organism is not able to reproduce a young ones, that phase is called a senescence or old ages. Like, during during this, the common changes occurs in the body, slowing metabolism. That is, the metabolism is get slowed, and ultimately leads to a death. And finally, after some years, that organism is going to be died. In plants and animals, hormone causes a transition between a juvenile, reproductive, and senescence. That is, there is a changes in the hormones. Those hormones which have been helpful in the production of offspring or by formation of gametes as well as eggs, such production of hormones stops when the period of senescence or the phases of senescence starts. So when such hormones is not being produced in the organism, the formation of egg is been not been formed, or the formation of gamete is not been seen in that, by which that organism is not able to produce a new young ones. The interaction between the hormones and environmental factors regulates the reproductive process and associates behavioral expressions of the organism. So when the such type of hormone stop producing in that organism, the behavior of the organism also get to be changed. If you can look at this picture, you found that this is a young male, and look at this, the last picture, this is the old male. This is the stages of the changement seen in the organism. This two phases is ready when the male achieves these two phases, he is ready to be able to produce. But when it reaches to these stages, it is not been able to reproduce. Why? Because the production of the hormones, sex hormones, stops in these phases. So look at the expressions of the faces. The expressions and the morphology of the face is also been changed. And finally, when it reaches to the stage of death, there is a large changes is being seen from the beginning. So such is the changement which been expressed, which shows that the organism is not being able to reproduce. And when the organism is not able to reproduce naturally, due to the stop of the production of the hormones, stop of the production of the gametes, or stop of the production of the egg cells, such period is called a senescence or old age. So finally, the sexual reproduction is been divided into three important stages, or we can call it events or stages. The first stage is the pre-fertilization stage. That is the stage of the period of before the fertilization. When the fertilization starts, it is the stage before, in which the formation of gametes or transfer of gametes takes place. That is, the formation of gametes means gametogenesis, and the transfer of gamete means, and that gamete which is produced is being transferred from male to female. Such is called a transfer of gamete. When the gamete is transferred, then the process of fertilization takes place. After fertilization, then the stage is called a post fertilization. So the sexual reproduction is being divided into three important stages, and these three important stages are pre-fertilization, fertilization, and post fertilization. Pre, as the name indicates, pre means before and post means after. The fertilization is the center point before fertilization and after fertilization. So we will discuss this in our next lecture. I hope you can understand the lecture, and if any doubt occurs, you may ask gently by contacting to me. Thank you very much for this, for hearing this lecture, and try to understand and learn all the points which I have indicated in this lecture.